Good morning or good afternoon, depending on when you're watching this video. I'm here to tell you about how college students should prioritize passion when making career decisions to improve long-term happiness and job satisfaction. How many of you know what you want to do after graduation? Is what you're pursuing for work a passion, or is it just a way of making money? As a college student myself, I never thought I would use passion when making decisions for my career. But after the amount of studying and research I've done, I might have to change my mind on that one. Let's start with passion. Passion is that spark. It's the emotional drive that will get us out of bed in the morning. It's rooted in our personal interests and the desires we choose. Passion is what makes us feel alive when we're doing something that we love. Purpose is the deeper reason as to why we do what we do. It's the driving force for motivation, satisfaction, and happiness. Passion excites us in the moment, but purpose sustains us in the long haul. When you have purpose, your work actually means something. There's a deeper connection which can lead you to happiness and success. And you're not just working for a paycheck at that point. Values. Values are the principles and beliefs that help us guide our decisions. Why do values matter? Well, values are the foundation of passion and purpose. And they help balance challenges. How do we define what our values are? Well, you can define your values in your own words to mean like writing down what matters most to you. And you should revisit these often because they can change. Using the values that we decide for ourselves allows us to align our actions and decisions with the values. Being true to yourself will equal the satisfaction and the growth that we need. Benefits of purpose, passion, and values. We can see higher productivity. We experience better mental health. We can allow ourselves to grow more positively. We have better motivation, and it's more pleasurable and fulfillable. When we are deciding how we want to start figuring out where to go, we want to take a journey. It's basically a journey. It's a reflection of what we want for ourselves. We have to identify how we can do that and what skills and strengths that we have. What brings you joy? Those are things that we have to remember when we're deciding on what our passions, purpose, and values actually are. Taking control through action. We can gain experience through volunteering, internships, or even beginner-level roles to confirm interests. When we decide that we're going to do a career, the best thing to do is actually doing volunteer work or internships. This way we can understand and realize what we actually like about this career. We want to revisit career paths because the passions and values can actually change. We expand our knowledge and connections through how we're learning. When we go to these volunteers, internships, and roles, we can learn and build ourselves up. And if you have a position that you're not really enjoying, small shifts or projects actually can make a difference. When we talk about harmony, we talk about how everything comes together. It feels like you're being energized and it's more meaningful. There is greater motivation and creativity when you have harmony within these three: passion, purpose, and value. And you can have a very strong alignment with the personal values with this. It can also lead to long-term fulfillment. But let's talk about some of the other issues, like why this wouldn't actually be such a good idea. Well, more times than not, passions don't really pay all that well. So for example, if you're working as a lawyer, you've gone to school for law enforcement or something, and your passion is to play music in a band. Well, I'm not saying that bands don't make money, but it can take a long time to make said money. Financial insecurity can actually lead to stress and instability. Values and passions might clash. So if your dream is to work till 3, then you might not be able to get out of working till 3 if you have a passion that you're continuing on with, like the musical industry. It can take time to develop the skill set to have a passion when you're figuring out a career, and passion could just turn into a job that can obviously lose its appeal. So when we talk about change of passions, we're talking about how people can feel that they are not right for a position. Natalie Montgomery changed her career because the industry that she was in was not a good fit. Helen Croydon, was a writer and had to change her job 3 times before she settled into a leadership role. When people feel stuck in a career as they wait for their passions to show themselves, asking these 3 questions will really help them. What energizes me? What am I good at? And what will the world pay for? Now that we've said all that, let's talk about some key takeaways that are really important. Passion fuels motivation, joy, and growth. Purpose gives meaning, direction, and fulfillment. Value guides decisions and keeps you true to yourself. So when passion, purpose, and value are all aligned, the benefits are tremendous. When we balance benefits and the tensions, we want to make sure that we are feeling fulfilled and that there's financial security with what we're doing. We want to stay adaptable because our passions and values can change over time. So today you've heard about why choosing passion for work is important due to the knowing of importance of how passion, value, interests, and benefits can have harmony and even there's some tension between them. So you've also heard why choosing passion over practicality isn't such a great idea. So when we're considering what you should do for what you should choose for a career, passion over practicality, I urge you to consider that what you enjoy doing while making money doesn't sometimes feel like you're actually working. You can also enjoy the position all the more. Steve Jobs said, "The only way to do great work is to love what you do." And I stand by that statement. Thank you.